Okay, good morning. My name is Azhar Rafee. I think to give you a little bit of context, my key role is on the emerging markets. I've been spending quite a bit of time in India, China, and the Gulf market. So today's presentation is about 5 slides. I'm going to take 8 to 10 minutes. And I've tried to give, since there's a good mix of people here, try to give you a perspective of both challenges and opportunities for a global media company like Reuters as we go about entering these marketplaces. And hopefully in my presentation you'll be able to find some nuggets of information that you can take back to your companies in terms of what you guys can apply or how you can work with us. But I want to start by saying that, earlier I made a wrong comment when Vikram asked that, how old is Reuters? And I said 150 years. I forgot we are only 1 month old because we are Thomson Reuters now. Thomson acquired us, and I think the logo represents it. So my presentation is all brand guideline oriented. So we're really excited about being part of the Thomson family, and our new branding and logo is right in front of you. Okay. I think I'm going to save you the information around, why India for Reuters. I think we're all here for the same reason. I know you're here for your reason for domestic. But the economy is good, income is rising, spending is getting up, picture is rosy. Okay, there are plenty of charts and numbers available, so if you need to just email me, I'll get you the data. But I think more importantly, when people like me and Reuters go about entering new markets, here are some of the deep dive that we do beyond the numbers. Clearly we analyze the macroeconomic figures, but more importantly, we also evaluate and take risk in terms of how rosy the picture is, how quickly the market's going to move, and that's important. And that's a key part of the job of a person like me, or S.N. Bhabri, who was a general manager in India. I think from outside looking in, for somebody who's based in Hong Kong and going and comparing China, India and Gulf, and how to accelerate our investments in these markets, comparison is very important. And I have to tell you that there's a certain level of acceptance and appreciation of consumerism in India that is not really found anywhere else. The people who buy things just like the whole idea of consumerism. They love shopping. They want to be out there. They want to be celebrating. Case in point is IPL as a new great media platform. I think everybody's been talking about this. We go about observing the level of confidence in the population. There's a certain level of confidence that the Indian population exudes that's really important. The culture is being exported outside. That's clearly watched. You've been reading in your own papers as well. There's a level of creativity and experimentation and innovation that happens in India that you go about looking in Asia. And even markets that are advanced, that just doesn't exist. In many ways, the innovation and creativity and experimentation compared to that of the US marketplace. So there's an approach issue that becomes very important for us, how about we go about designing our products. And clearly sophistication and taste change as the wealth improves, so that's happening. Clearly since we are in the information business, we look at how the information needs being created among consumers, among professionals. And then of course the two elements that we watch is mobility and time deprivation, because eventually we all arrive at a level because there's so much time and so much fun to have with life. And there's only so much information media companies can throw at you, so there's got to be a filter. I think there's an acknowledgement on our part that India is unique in a sense. There's clear adoption of new marketing methods and touch points. It's phenomenal. Whether it's outdoor, whether it's the movies, the sports arena, etc. Small, but clearly, you see people who have at least studied abroad or people who have aspirations in India clearly taking models and learning and localizing them to their local needs. So we see that clearly. And we make no mistake about domestic competition. In fact, both actually here and in China, our toughest competition comes from domestic players, so we don't take them for granted. It's business as usual for us. In the caption for this presentation, we talked about out of box. But for us, it's business as usual. We're trying to find opportunities that exist and have meaningful size. But we have also accepted that the Indians, like the rest of the world, are fickle and promiscuous consumers. Brand loyalty is less and less, and you really have to earn that trust. It's becoming very difficult. And in terms of, I think, the changes we are looking forward to is what our hope is that clearly the infrastructure improves. Regulation is important. I think in terms of foreign direct investment is something that we watch very clearly, particularly in the media industry. And the marketing dollar pool is really small if you compare the new media or the digital world. If you compare India versus China, India is spending something like 0.5% of a GDP. China is on a much higher scale. And if you take a look in absolute dollars, India will do something like 100 million in online, 100 million US dollars in online revenue. With, China is almost 10 times, closing at $1 billion, depending on whose numbers. So bigger opportunity there. So the availability of marketing pool is very important.